Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Friday, the 15th of August, 2025. We'll start off, as always, with the general picture. You can see yesterday lunchtime, a pleasant day yesterday, some very nice flying, and quite a lot more cumulus than we were expecting. There's this high pressure just off the northern tip of France there. Small trough that started to move through, but didn't come to a great deal. And when it eventually cleared a little bit later in the late morning, after early afternoon, a good day was had, and we flew all the way into the evening. Overnight, not a great deal of change to that picture. The high pressure no longer centered in the channel, with lows out to the west. High pressure still dominating. By lunchtime today, it's very much the same. Weak cold front approaching the northern coast of Scotland, associated with that low way up in the Scandies there. And coming down in our general direction overnight, but likely dissipating or moving out to the east. The next few days looking very much the same, with inclusion coming in around Sunday, potentially passing Sunday night, or maybe even into next week, Monday or Tuesday. But we're in a very good run of weather at the moment. We'll just hopefully make the most of it. Looking at the sat pic here, you can see blue, no significant cloud in our part of the country and to the north, but little sort of strip there in the western side of England there, and quite a lot up towards the north of Scotland. But nothing of concern for us, and as you can imagine, therefore nothing on the rain radar, even with that developed stuff up towards the north. That's fairly middle and top level cover, and no precipitation is associated with that. Met Office prediction for rain, if we just run that through, we're not expecting anything based on the synoptic, and it's a fairly dry air mass now. It has dried over the last few days, so we can expect blue, dry all throughout today. Odium TAF, then they're giving us 290, just make sure that's valid. Yeah, 290, 3 knots, cab okay. And Farnborough, 280, 4 knots, also cab okay. And suggesting that between the hours of 7 and 8, we had 8,000 meters, becoming 03010 knots between 11 and 2. So we're seeing a bit of a northeasterly flow to the wind. And we're expecting that locally here today as well. Looking at the spot winds, to the south 070 15, and the north 360 at between 10 and 5. That's a little bit variable. So I think somewhere in between there, maybe 030, around 5 or 10 knots is probably realistic for what we can expect in our area. Windy, showing northeasterly flow across the airfield. They're fairly moderate in strength. It would imply 09 is best for use, but certainly for the initial part of the day, we'll operate runway 27 until we have the grid clear. It's going to be quite warm on the ground today, so we want to maximize our performance, and we'll take the downhill run. And then we'll have that on review for the remainder of the day. And if we decide we need to change to 09 after the grid's gone, then we may do that. Met Office local forecast here showing northeasterly around 5 knots, gusting up to just under 15. So not really a great concern for us there. Reasonable visibility and low humidity with high UV, so do be careful, please. Temperature with the GFS looking around 27, 28 degrees during the warmest part of the day. And we can expect a dew point of somewhere around 11 degrees. It's the webcam on the south side as well. You can see nice and blue. Definite evidence of that northeasterly breeze there on the windsock, and no significant cloud on the horizon. In terms of temperature, we're already up to 20.1 degrees locally, with a dew point of 15.9. Sky sight on the left-hand side of the screen there is an excerpt from the potential flight distance, and you can see if I just zoom that out slightly, that we've got a good area today in the country, albeit blue. On the right-hand side is our local forecast for Lasham, and we can see blue with plenty of surface heating all throughout today. No cloud expected. A little bit later to get going, but should be late morning, soarable up to 3,500 feet, and up to 4,500 feet in the best part of the day. Climb strengths ranging between sort of 3 and 5 knots, and the winds at the thermal tops easterly or northeasterly, I should say, initially about between 5 and 10 knots. Cloud distribution chart here on the top Meteo. Just having a look here to see if they've got any disagreement in terms of cloud. It's showing quite a lot of low-level stuff off to the west. Now, it's not necessarily there. They are right about the area to the north, however. We just run it through our via, you can see that's not going to be an issue for us today. Remaining blue throughout. Possibly hint of cumulus in Wales and towards Cambridge Way later on this afternoon. And maybe a tiny bit locally, but again, blue for the majority of the day. Nothing else to discuss on that front, really. No terms. So there's a few to talk about today. Locally to us anyway, 27, 28, we've got Delta 132, the Ash Ranges, and 29, we're a little bit closer at Farnborough itself. We have parachute jumping at Farnborough, mid to late morning. Over at 30, we've got paragliding at Combe Gibbet, and up at 33, just to the northeast of that, we've got West Ilsley. There'll be winch launching paragliders to 1,900 feet. At 36, so over towards Bristol, we've got what has become quite a common theme, the temporary danger area for drone testing in the Severn, and that's only from surface to 1,400 feet. And then to the east of there, towards sort of Kemble and Gloucestershire Way, we've unfortunately got some more of that temporary Class D airspace. So I'll go through times. I would recommend checking yourselves. But at 37, there's CTA2, and that's from surface to 5,000 feet. And that's valid between, and these times will all be in Zulu time, 16:38 and 17:30. And that's UTC. 38 is CTA1, that's from 4,000 feet to flight level 95, and that is from 16:35 to 17:30. 39 CTA2, again, but that's 4,000 feet to flight level 105, and that's from 16:35 until 17:30. And at 40, we have CTR1, and that's surface to 4,000 feet, and it's from 16:38 until 17:30. So what I will do is show you what that looks like on Sky Demon. So those are the dimensions of the airspace in particular. It doesn't have the designations, but this will have the, or it does, as you can see there, the vertical limitations. The times for almost all of these are between 16:35 and 17:30 UTC. Okay, so probably not much of an issue for us today, but if it is as good as it is later on, you may be coming down from that direction. On to the local brief and glider bookings. We've got one K21 today for boots instruction. Yeah, there's also two on the 5-day courses. We've also got one for the casual list. There's a K13 operating trial lesson today, and there is plenty of single-seater availability. So we've got a good day today. So if club members come out, make sure you get flying the single-seaters and enjoy the weather. Got nobody on the casual list at the moment, and the simulator is available. Reminder again about the Aboyne expedition. Plenty of space on week 3, so let's try and get those spaces filled up. There's plenty of opportunity to go and have a nice trip away, do some soaring while everybody else is packing up for the winter. But no movements today. And in summary, there's high pressure, which is dominant, bringing hot and blue conditions, and we can now expect a north-northeasterly flow across the airfield. We'll be on runway 27 with cables to the south grass, and that's subject to review post the grid launch. We'll be gridding runway 27 north side grass, and please be ready when the cable or tug arrives. As always, do not land or taxi across the disused runways shown in red. And there's our airfield setup, the winch in the usual place, aero towing heavies, and as part of the grid and normal club operations from the hard and the grid on the north side. It is very hot today and I have a bit of a tailwind, so I will encourage anybody that's particularly heavy, please do go to the runway if possible. We'll do our very best to get you launched in time. That's all for me this morning. See you out there very shortly. Let's have a good day and let's keep it safe. Thank you very much.